my Instagram last night that we were going to be doing this today, and I'm just checking to make sure that everything does what it's supposed to. Look, there we go. Okay, cool. Let me get where I can see your comments. All right, cool. So it's about 1 o'clock, and we actually went live on time. I'd planned on 1 o'clock, and that's exactly what has happened. Ooh, this thing is overmodulating. Hang on a second. That's why it sounds so loud in my ears. Check 1, 2, 2. I'm still way loud over there. Huh, okay. All right, that's better. Looks better. Hope those levels are okay. You guys know that this is a constant struggle to find the right everything. 2, 1, 2, 2. Hey, let's try that. Okay. Because, I've worked hard on the video, but let's be honest. It's the audio that will either keep you watching or keep you from having a good time with this. So let's go down just a little bit there. Check 1, 2, 2. Looking over there. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Sounds good in my ears. If you're watching live, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that everything's looking good and sounding good. So it's Wednesday, and if I look here on my computer, it is Wednesday, December the 2nd. And on Monday, we did a live stream, and in that live stream, not only did I teach a little bit of a drum lesson, but we were able to also give you some opportunities to sign up for some prizes. I'm going to do that at the very front end of this, and then I got a few things I want to talk with you about, just some thoughts, especially we're rounding the corner. I can never use that phrase again or anything like it. We're about to be in 2021. And so I've got a few things that I wanted to share with you that I think would be valuable in terms of getting you ready for 2021. And just some thoughts. Wanted to share them with you. And so I'll do that. But right now, if you'll notice on this side of my desk here, I've got several different, man, it just looks like it's overmodulating. Sorry, hang on a second, y'all. I make all these changes and it doesn't look like it's doing much. Okay, all right, because my audio meters are across the room there. If you're watching on Facebook, or you're watching on YouTube, or you're watching in any number of other places, thank you for putting up with all the technical stuff. There's a lot of things that have to go on to be able to get some streaming going on here, and hopefully you dig the fire. With the winter setting in, it just kind of seemed like the right time to do a fire. So anyway, on the side of my desk here, I've got 3 different hats, and if you watch Monday's live webcast, then you saw where we had an opportunity for you to be able to get one of several prizes. One of the little prize packs we're giving away is a couple of these Chris Adler Promark sticks. They're basically a long 5A with an acorn tip. Really cool stick. Has a really good full response on the cymbal. We're giving a couple of those away from our friends at Promark Sticks. They've been I've been with Promark as an artist now since 1997. So that's however many decades that is. And as you guys know, I love those sticks. Also, we're giving away 2 different DVD prizes. One is the Fills and Chops DVD from my buddy Rob Wallace and the folks at Hudson Music. Great consortium. It's just a whole, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a bunch of drummers, and they're talking about Fills and Chops. And, I mean, how can you go wrong? If you've got a DVD that's all about drummers and fills and chops, how can you go wrong with that? I don't think you can. Yeah, so on this DVD is some stuff by Steve Gadd, Keith Carlock's on here, Mike Portnoy, Steve Smith, Gavin Harrison, Todd Zuckerman, Benny Gribb, Jim and John Riley. They're not brothers, but brothers from another mother maybe. Aaron Spears, Pat Petrillo. Hey, Pat. Pat's got a bunch of streaming stuff he's starting to do here pretty soon. Russ Miller, Thomas Lang, Antonio Sanchez. There's just a ton of stinking drummers on this thing. And let's see. And then the other prize we're giving away is this big box set. It's the Modern Drummer Festival 2008. Again, just a long list of amazing drummers. Almost 12 hours worth of content, concerts, solos, playing songs, all kinds of stuff across 4 DVDs. And even if you don't have a DVD player, it's worth it just to get that and be able to watch that. So anyway, let's give these things away. So I'm going to swap over here to my serious camera. This is the camera I use when I want to be really serious about things and really just drill down and talk to you about some stuff. Anyway, so I've got the 3 hats here. They're just filled with all these different pieces of paper with people's names on them. And all you had to do for the drawing for the sticks was just leave a comment of any sort. I didn't really care what you said, as long as it was nice and encouraging. Let's see. So we're going to draw one, and the winner of the 2 sticks is Mr. Will Dirt. Will Dirt, you got 2 pairs of drumsticks. Will is a great local Atlanta drummer, and I'm sure he's going to love having a couple more pairs of sticks in his bag, thanks to our friends at Promark. And let's move on to the next one, the Fills and Chops DVD from Hudson Music. Again, different hat. Oh, before I announce the name, so what you had to do for this was, you just had to put Fills and Chops in the comment. So if you put Fills and Chops in the comment section, you actually got entered for sticks and for the DVD. So you actually did 2 things at the same time. So, all right. So now, Dan Smallwood, you got a new DVD, friend. I think he has 3 DVD players. So you can walk this DVD around to each one of your players and watch a little bit of every one. It's probably most effective if you pick the DVD player that is closest to your drum set. And so let me put that to the side. So I'll know to send Dan a note and get his mailing address. And then for the big, let me mix them up real good here. The big drawing for the big box set, Modern Drummers Festival 2008. Let's see. John Doberstein. And I'll tell you, John had a statistical advantage. He loaded... Awful political joke. He loaded the ballot box because I think he shared that video. So to get in the drawing for this, you had to share the video from Monday. And I think John shared this thing like 50 times. So if you ever wanted to be able to ensure a win, put the work in, man. Just put the work in. And he put the work in. And John, I'll make sure to send you a note and get your address so that I can send you that DVD package. I'm super excited to be able to do things like this. I'm partnering with many of the companies I've got endorsement deals with, and then companies like Hudson Music that I just love what they do. And I think Rob is such a great guy, and we've had some contact on and off over the years, especially thanks to social media. And he's always been super supportive. And so, of course, everything I do, I'm always going to make sure I support Hudson Music. They've got a lot of cool things that you're going to see I'm going to be telling you about in the future. But if you don't know about what they're doing, hudsonmusic.com, they pretty much are the only game in town, as far as I'm concerned, as far as video drum education from the big names, from the marquee names. That really is their specialty. Their specialty is to be able to bring you some of the world's greatest drummers and allow you to get inside their heads for a while. So great DVDs. We got a ton more things that we'll give away over the next few weeks. It's sort of an early Christmas present for folks that I really appreciate watching all this stuff. And whether it's the drum lessons or these live streams or any of the things that I do, I really appreciate you watching and taking the time. If you share them, if you leave comments, of course, I really super duper appreciate that. It is not lost on me that your time is valuable. And because your time is valuable, let's get right into what I want to talk about with you today. So, what I want to talk about today is if you know anything about me, if you followed anything that I do, if you've read much about any of the stuff that I've written, seen many of the videos, if you hung out for some of the Monday morning meetups, which we'll be doing in 2021, you already know about a lot of the things that I do to look forward and to plan and to kind of get things in order. And in this case, I'm thinking specifically about 2021. And, people make New Year's resolutions and they set these goals that they may or may not stick to in 2021. 2020 was tough because we all made resolutions that in some way or another we weren't able to really follow through with. And so, what I want to do today is take you through a few tips. We'll just call them tips. And get you thinking about 2021 now. Most of you know that I start about 8 weeks in advance of the new year, beginning to think about what the new year is going to look like, what the plans are going to be, what I'm going to focus on, what I'm going to improve, what I want to learn, all of that stuff. And it can be overwhelming, especially if you're only starting to dive in on January 1st. But the thing I encourage you to do is start to future cast what you want that year to look like and do that 8 to even 12 weeks in advance. Some of the things that I've been thinking about for 2021, I was thinking about and beginning to formulate a real accurate picture of in August or September. But by November, that's when I really start getting serious about putting pen to paper and figuring out what we're going to do, what I'm going to do with the year. So I've got 3 tips for you that I think if you begin to implement them today and you take the next, it's December the 2nd, so we've got 30 days before the new year. If you begin working now on what you want to accomplish in 2021 and start to make some incremental changes, some incremental improvements, some incremental additions to your life now, over the course of the next 30 days, you're going to find it's a lot easier once you actually get to the point of being able to go full bore with your New Year's resolutions. We're just going to call them just new things, or we'll find some way to title it and make it snazzy in our brain to anyway. 3 things I want to tell you. In all of that planning, it can be somewhat overwhelming to be able to future cast and look at what you want the next year of your life to look like. It can be a little daunting to make these big plans and have these big visions and in your mind have all of these great things that you'd like to be able to do. And when you take a look at where you're at currently, it may seem like a big leap. And in a lot of cases, for me, if I think too much about where I want things to go, I actually get stunted. I don't do nearly as much as I would like to do. If anything, it sort of paralyzes me a bit. So my first tip for you is only think about the end at the beginning. And so in that lead up to November for me, and in this case, it's probably the lead up to December for you, I think a lot about what I want the end to look like. What do I want the end of 2021 to look like? Where do I want to be? What do I want to have accomplished? What do I want to be able to kind of check off? And how do I want to feel like I have improved over the course of that 12 months. And so during that time in August, September, October, into November, I'm really thinking about the end. I'm thinking about what I want things to look like. Ideally, how would things go if I accomplished all that I wanted to accomplish, if I did the things that were on my proverbial list, the list I haven't made yet, if I ticked all the boxes and everything went my way and the universe conspired with me to be able to make all of this happen. I think about that a lot in the beginning. But once I start putting pen to paper and putting my process together, I don't think about the end anymore. Because once you start trying to put your process together, it can really, really paralyze you to think about all the things that you have to do to get to whatever that goal is. And for you, it may be a financial goal. It may be a health goal. I've got a health goal for this year that includes losing 30 pounds and keeping it off permanently. You may have career goals. You may have relationship goals. And if you're looking at the end and all you're focusing on is the end, then as you're putting your plan together, it can almost put you in a place where you get paralyzed and you can't do anything, even if you have some steps to work. So think about the end only at the beginning. And then once you've really solidified that picture in your mind of what the end looks like, stop thinking about it. And as you think about that ending, really think big. That's tip number 2. Is I want you to think really, really big. Something that really stretches you, somewhere that really seems unattainable. And as you're doing that, realize that the thinking big, thinking about the end and the beginning, is where we start. We start with this big thing where we try and solidify what that looks like down to the most minute detail. I've got some things I'll be announcing here in the next couple of weeks that are things that it's taken a year to get to this point. But right here at the end of the year, I had a couple of things that were on the list that even despite this global pandemic and this recession, a couple of things I was able to accomplish because 12 months ago, I was thinking big and I was thinking about them, and it took a lot longer than I had hoped it would inside of this year to do, but it looks like they're going to be coming to fruition here even in the next few weeks. So you're going to think big. So tip number 2 is to think big. When you're thinking in the beginning, think big, but you're going to start small. And that's where your plan comes in. When you start putting your steps together for how to get to wherever it is that you want to go, get really small to the point of, for me, I started last month in my health goals. I started early and started small. One of my first goals was I want to drive to put my clothes. The goal at first was put my gym clothes on and get ready to go to the gym, even if I didn't go. And then that next step was get in the car and drive to the gym and just get to the parking lot. That's all I wanted to do. And so for a couple of weeks, there were a few times people probably thought I was really weird. I'm dressed to go work out. I drive all the way to the gym and I just sit in the parking lot for about 30 to 60 seconds. And I just sit in that accomplishment of that was the goal today. Something small, be able to get my clothes on. And once I could accomplish that for a few days in a row, then it was get in the car and just drive to the gym. Then it was drive to the gym and walk up to the front door. That's this month. And so tomorrow, one of my goals, it's on my list of things I'm doing tomorrow, is I'm going to put my gym clothes on and I'm going to drive to that parking lot, except this time I'm getting out of the truck and I'm just going to touch the handle of the front door. That's it. Of course, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to touch the handle of the front door, and I'm going to decide to go in. I'll have my mask on, and I'll make sure I use a little Purell after I touch that doorknob. But I know that once I actually get to the doorknob, I'm probably going to go one step further and actually go into the gym. And it may be something like 5 minutes on a recumbent bike. But Not only did I meet my goal, I would have exceeded my goal. So pick little things. Once you go through that door of that gym, once if you're trying to learn a new skill, once you've read the first page of that book that you need to read, you'll probably go to the next page. Don't have the goal set of reading the whole book. Read the first page. Just say, all I want to do is get through the first page. I want that whole process of getting the book, sitting down, making the time, getting my mind stilled, and read the first page. You'll probably read more than one of those pages. And anything that you want to do this coming year, if you'll start now in December with making those little steps, by the time you get to January the 1st, you're already going to be the momentum is already going to be heading in the right direction for you. So let's talk about getting into 2021. I want to admonish you. I've always seemed to live in a world where people dare you to take chances, but then when you take chances, they're very quick to knock you down for whatever chances that you decide to take. Maybe you didn't take the chances they thought you should take, or you didn't do it in a way that they thought you should do. I want to be the one person in your life that encourages you, and this is step number 3, to take at least one chance this coming year, something big. I want you to make one really big leap. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be a career goal. It can be a relationship goal. It can be a health goal. If, like me, I want to lose over the course of the next year, I want to lose 30 pounds and keep it off permanently. That's a big leap for me. I've lost the weight before, but it's always seemed to come back because my habits changed. After I got to that goal of losing the weight, I really didn't have anything past that. This time it's get it off, keep it off, maintain that healthy lifestyle. Hey, Trav, Merry Christmas, buddy. It's good to see you. So I want to admonish you to take at least one big chance in 2021, and you make the choice of what it is. Don't let someone else make the choice for you. You decide what you want that big leap to be. And if you're not afraid of heights, maybe you want to jump twice. Some people that are not all that risk averse. You might not think that I'm risk averse because I tend to take some pretty risky positions sometimes, especially with my career. But what I can tell you is I am very risk averse. I just I tend to plan on the front end enough that I feel comfortable making the leap when I do. And I don't have to look back when I do. But if you're not afraid of heights and you take your big leap, maybe you'll want to take 2 big leaps this year. So for me, there are 3 very big leaps, and I'm going to hold those to myself. I'll tell you about them at the end of 2021. There are 3 big leaps. You'll see it in everything that I do. I won't have to tell you what my 3 big leaps are. You'll see it in everything that I do. But there are 3 big leaps that I'm taking this year because I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not afraid to set those lofty goals. And if I miss that goal, it will have been such a leap that when I look at where I land, it's going to be so far beyond where I was to start with. So for me, I have 3 really big leaps that I want to take this year. And I've already begun to take them. And you see it with all the live streaming and the stuff that's going on, not just here, but also downstairs. That's the things that are involved in all that are one of my big leaps this year. And so that's my 3rd tip for you, is to take at least one big leap. And if you're not afraid of heights, maybe you want to jump twice. And that way you'll get even more accomplished with 2021. So that's my 3 things I wanted to talk with you about today. Feel free to leave something in the comments. If you got any questions, feel free to DM me or if you've got my email address, it's real easy. It's brian@briansteves.com. Feel free to send me an email. If you got questions, if you got concerns, if you just need a little bit of cheerleading, somebody to tell you it's okay, it's cool, man, you can get this done. shoot me a note. I'm always happy to be there for you. And so remember those 3 tips. Only think about the end and the beginning. Number 2, think big, but start small. The smallest thing that you can do is one step forward towards whatever that end goal is. And then take at least one chance in the coming year, one big leap. And if you're not afraid of heights, maybe jump twice. So for everybody that won, I'll be sending you a note. So for John and for Dan and for Will, I'll send you a note to get your mailing address to send you these cool prizes. I'm going to be streaming tonight, somewhere around 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do a drum lesson from downstairs to test out all the new improvements that got made yesterday. If you've seen my Instagram Live, I walked you through a few of those. And that's everything I got for you right now. I certainly appreciate you for checking this out and coming and hanging out with me for a few minutes. I hope that these things help. Keep your eye on all of my socials. If you're on YouTube and watching this and you're following me on Facebook, it's real easy. Just go to brianstevens.com/Facebook. I don't have those graphics here, but next time I will. If you're following me on Facebook, I'm over on YouTube, I'm over on Instagram, doing different things in different places. So make sure you're following those to get the total package of everything that's going on. And I hope it's inspiring for you and that it puts you in a place where you feel comfortable with living into who you want to be for 2021. Because if ever there was a time for you to reshape your future and be the person that you've always wanted to be and do the things you've always wanted to do, I believe that this is the year to do it. So please stay safe. Please wear a mask. Please wash your hands. Carry some Purell around. And, that without getting myself in trouble with people that think that I have some kind of opinion about any of this, which I don't. That's all I got for you today. So if you can, tune in tonight. And I guess until next time, I will see you when I see you. Thanks so much.